Well, Christine, I'm told by multiple people who knew this deputy that he was one of the nicest guys you could meet, one of the hardest workers you could possibly meet, and also just a very humble guy. He normally worked over at the Pico Rivera Sheriff Station, but he often worked here in Lakewood on overtime to help support his family. That's exactly what he was doing this morning when, unfortunately, he was involved in a crash that took his life.
If he knew you were having a bad day, I mean, he'd show up with a Starbucks card within 5 minutes, like, here, I hope your day gets better.
LASD deputy Adriana Rojas has fond memories of her time with fallen deputy Thomas Albanese, her former partner. He wasn't big on taking photos, but now Rojas will always cherish this one.
He's as humble as they come. It breaks my heart. I can't even imagine. It hasn't hit me yet, and I'm going to miss him dearly.
Deputy Albanese was a motor deputy who served several tours in Iraq as a Marine. He was killed in a violent collision in Lakewood Thursday morning at the intersection of Del Amo and Paramount while he was trying to conduct a traffic stop. Surveillance video obtained by Fox 11 shows a suspect vehicle very clearly speeding down the street. Moments later, Deputy Albanese can be seen chasing after it. When he drives into the intersection with lights and sirens, a Mercedes turning left collides with him. We're pausing at the moment of impact.
It threw him at a distance from the collision. He died instantaneously on impact.
The driver who hit Deputy Albanese was treated and released at the scene, while the speeding driver got away, at least for now. A procession escorted Deputy Albanese's body from the crash site to the coroner's office in Boyle Heights. He was 41 years old, had been with LASD for 7 years, and leaves behind a wife and 2 kids.
Just in shock, to be honest with you.
LASD Sergeant Kevin Tawari was Deputy Albanese's training officer early in his career.
I just became a dad at the time. I remember, talking about like, man, I don't know what I got a little guy. He goes, don't worry, sir, I got 2 boys, and trust me, you'll be good. And so, we just had a, like I said, even though I was his TO, it was funny. He was teaching me about, being a dad, just like, trust me, you're gonna love it. It's the best, job ever. And
Deputy Albanese was working overtime for the Lakewood Sheriff Station when he died, something he did often. Deputy Rojas tells me he worked as hard as he could for his family.
He had taken a trip, I know, with his family to Hawaii recently within the last year or two. And he is just so happy that he was able to pay for that trip. He had been working a lot because he wanted to take his boys and his wife on a nice vacation, and I'm glad he got to do that.
And Sergeant Tawari will never forget running into his former trainee at a deli 2 months ago.
And I see him pull up on his motorcycle, and he's going to the uniform store. And I see him take off his helmet, like, hey, Thomas. And he looks, oh, hey, what's up, sir? And, obviously, I say, hey, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I'm getting a memorial band for a CHP officer that passed away. And he goes, you want me to get you one? And I have one in my locker, but at the time I was like, yeah, you don't mind getting me one.
Now, that very same memorial band is stretched across Sergeant Tawari's badge in honor of his fallen friend and protege.
I never thought in my wildest dreams that the band he gave me 2 months prior, I would put it on my badge. Just imagine, I was like, oh man, like who would ever thought? He just handed it to me for somebody else, and now I'm putting it on for him.
And back out here live at the Lakewood Sheriff Station tonight, you can see a small memorial for Deputy Albanese here that is starting to grow. Some candles, some flowers here. Really a heartbreaking scene. More heartbreaking to think about the fact that he's leaving behind his wife and his 2 young boys, only ages 7 and 11. They're going to have to grow up without their dad now, and certainly our thoughts here at Fox 11 go out to his family. As for that speeding driver that took off, he has not yet been identified yet, he or she, but I'm told by LASD investigators are working on it, and when they do identify that person, they could potentially consider filing charges related to this crash, potentially felony evading. We're live in Lakewood tonight. Bill Malugin, Fox 11 News.